house is basically empty right now. Peace and quiet. So I'm trying to set up this video because I'm actually home alone and I can do this right now. And sometime in between the time that it took me to set up my camera on my tripod, my dog pissed on the floor and I just stepped in it. Yeah, this is my life. So all you other wine moms, I need to hear from you guys. What time do you start drinking your wine? Because it is like, I think like 5:15 or something like that. And that's like a little bit early for me, but not early enough for me to think that it sounds totally outrageous. Okay, so Trey took my older two with him to the gym this evening to play in the kids club. So I am here by myself with Henley and the two dogs. It is like way more peaceful this way. I'm not totally by myself. I still have like, obviously the dogs peeing on the floor and like fighting with each other, barking for no reason. And then Henley feeds like constantly. So constantly breastfeeding and changing diapers and everything. But it is just way more peaceful than me having my 6-year-old, my 2-year-old, my newborn, my big dog, my little dog, and then my husband who's basically another child. So yeah, lately that's what we've been doing for most evenings. So he gets to go to the gym, they get to play and get some energy out. I get to either sleep or get some things done or just be lazy. Today I decided to make a video. I never really got a chance to talk to you guys about how we came up with Henley's name. And I did the video where I talked about the 10 baby names we love but we won't be using. And if you haven't seen that, I will link that up here. I always forget what side it is, so I always just say up here, but I think it's over here. I will link that video for you guys so y'all can watch that. And in that video, I kind of made it seem like we had a name set in stone for a girl, and we totally did not have a name set in stone for a girl. In fact, all those names that I mentioned were names that were literally still in the running and could have potentially been her name. But I already had 2 girls, which means I've already come up with 4 girl names, and coming up with 2 more was really hard. But I digress. I wanted to talk about how we came up with the names for all 3 of our girls. Lilia is obviously from a previous relationship, as most of you guys know. It was the day before we were going to find out whether or not I was going to have a boy or a girl. And I can't explain it, but I knew pretty much without a doubt that she was going to be a girl, mostly because everybody had told me that the sicker you are, the more likely that it's going to be a girl. And I was like deathly ill all the time. Every single day, every minute of the day, I was really, really sick. So I was pretty sure that she was gonna be a girl. This particular day, we were driving down the highway and I was laying down in the back seat because I was too sick to like sit up and watch the road and the cars go by. I don't know. So I was laying down. Are you laughing? Is that funny? I was laying down and Caleb, Lilia's dad, was looking out the window and a car drove past that had like the car paint on it, like whenever a team is like going to a competition or to regionals or whatever, they like write with the car paint the like player's name and number and like go team, stuff like that. So one of those cars drove by and it had something like Go Lilia on the side of the car. When I'm thinking of a name, I want something that is unique And I also want something that doesn't sound too childish, that they can't grow into it. So something that can be really beautiful for a baby and can also be really mature for an adult. So I really love the name Lilia. It was really unique. It was really beautiful. And it's something that she can grow into that she'll never grow out of, I guess. Then for her middle name, Fay, I don't know, we went on like Pinterest or like looked at baby names or something, and I was looking for something that had one syllable, because if Lilia has 3 syllables, then it'll flow really well with something that is followed by 1 syllable, if that makes sense. So Lilia Fay, it flows really well. It just like flows off the tongue, if you will. So I was looking for 1 syllable names. We found the name Fay, and I absolutely love the name Fay. I still love the name Fay. I've wanted to use Fay as a middle name for like all of my girls. If that's a thing, I could jump on that bandwagon because I've always loved that name. And we spelled it F-A-E because that is how you say fairy in Celtic. And Lily is a flower, and she is my flower fairy. So that's how we came up with Lilia's name. And then with Zoey's name, I would have sworn up and down that Zoey was a boy whenever I found out that I was pregnant. My pregnancy was just completely different from my pregnancy with Lilia, and I was convinced that she was gonna be a boy. Oh my God, it sounds like my dogs are fighting. Hold on. All right, they are totally fighting. If you hear a bunch of barking in the background, those are my dogs. So we had a name set in stone for a boy, but we also had a name chosen for the off chance that it was going to be a girl. I was going to name her Rylan if she was a girl, and I was going to name her Silas if she was a boy. Actually, if I ever have a boy, his name will be Silas. I went to the sonogram to find out if we were having a boy or a girl, and surprise, it's another girl. The whole world is like flipped upside down. I'm gonna have 2 girls, and the name Rylan just does not sound right to me. Like, when I come up with the names for my kids, I always get this gut feeling that that is the name, and I just was not getting that feeling with this name. It did not feel right at all, so that name was off the table. So now I'm left with the knowledge that I'm having another girl and absolutely no name. At this time, I worked at a hospital and I was a pharmacy technician, and every once in a while, I would walk around and deliver medications throughout the hospital. So sometimes I would deliver to the NICU. And in the NICU, they would have a little sign above the baby's bed that has the baby's name on it, and like a whiteboard or whatever, because the babies go like in and out. And this whiteboard that I saw when I walked in, I went around the corner to the room where you drop off the medicine, and this baby's name was Zoey. And I just like stopped dead in my tracks, and I just stared at this sign forever because I can't explain it, but I got that gut feeling, that I'm talking about. I got it, and I just knew that that was her name without a doubt. Her name is Zoey. And it just like, it felt so like certain. I don't know. It sounds kind of crazy, I guess, when I say it out loud, but I just felt like certain that this is her name. So I asked Trey if he liked it. He absolutely loved it. He loved the name, and I was so excited because I don't know. If he hated it, then I couldn't use it. I don't know. I'm not one of those moms that like takes over the naming process. I have to get the go-ahead from my husband. He has to agree with me. So he loved it. The middle name, Olivia, I have always loved that name. I think it's really pretty. But the reason why I chose the name is actually kind of embarrassing. But I guess I'm going to tell you guys anyway, because here we go. The reason I chose the middle name Olivia is honestly because I liked the way it looked with the hashtag. Like hashtag Zoey Olivia. I don't know. That sounds so lame. That sounds so lame. But that is legit how Zoey got her first and her middle name. Now as for Henley's name, since a lot of you guys have been following me through my whole pregnancy, through like not knowing if it was a boy or a girl, and all of my like crazy name options, because I don't remember which update, but one of my updates I talked about like the potential baby names for our kids and stuff like that. It was a little bit early on. And the name Henley was actually never once mentioned in any of those videos, and it kind of just seems like it came out of nowhere, and kind of did, to be honest with you. So I had a couple names that I got that gut feeling with, that I was certain without a doubt were my baby's name, and you know, I was like 90% sure that this was a girl. I was like pretty certain that this was a girl, but I couldn't come up with a girl name for the life of me, especially not one that me and Trey both agreed on, because there were a few names that we like agreed on, but we didn't use for reasons in particular. A lot of those I listed out on my 10 baby names that we like but won't be using video. So honestly, when it came time to give birth, I didn't have a name for a girl in my head at all. Baby's born and it's a girl. It's still, every time I say it, it's like, I don't know. I can't say it without feeling emotion. I think it's my hormones are still like all out of whack from having a baby. Anyways, but whenever they put her in my arms and I held her for the first time, the name Henley just popped into my head like instantly. And I just looked at her and I just thought of the name Henley. And that was just it. Like, then I got that gut feeling, I got that certainty, just looking at her and then saying the name, it just felt so right. And then the middle name Jean is actually a family name. So Trey's mother and grandmother both have the middle name Jean. So it's Sandra Jean and Terry Jean. And I thought that Henley Jean sounded super cute, and I just decided to carry on that tradition that way. So yeah, that is how I came up with all the names for all three of my girls. I'm not gonna like bribe you guys with the whole like my video, subscribe to my channel, yada yada yada, follow my Instagram and my Facebook and my Snapchat. Just do it if you want to. That's it for this video, guys. Bye. Can't reach it. She did not like that.